Conscious Leadership Podcast, the human side of leadership, where consciousness meets practical business leadership. The podcast dives into real challenges managers face, from team motivation to navigating change. Discover actionable insight, proven strategies, and inspiring stories to help you lead with clarity, authenticity, and impact. Whether you are an SME owner, a team leader, or simply passionate about conscious leadership, this podcast will equip you with the tools to build stronger teams, foster trust, and achieve sustainable success. Tune in, lead consciously, and make a difference. Hello, and welcome to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Boris Nedved. Today, it's a special episode. It's a special episode because I want to express my thoughts for the newly released Gallup 2025 State of the Global Workplace report. If you have never heard of Gallup, or if you want to find out what it is inside, you can find the report as a downloadable file on the Gallup website under gallup.com. This report is more than just numbers. For me, it's a stark wake-up call. A wake-up call for leaders and for organizations everywhere in the world. As we discuss the findings, I want to tie it to a critical discussion that's as well dominating the boardrooms worldwide, and that I've just visited and seen and observed in a collaboration conference. And it's about future skills and the rise of AI. But there's a crucial element being forgotten in all these conversations. Amidst all the excitement about AI-driven innovation, companies are, from my perspective, neglecting the fundamental factor that keeps organizations thriving, and that's the human being. As you might have realized listening to the podcast, reading my articles, it's a topic that is very, very close to my heart. It's human centricity in a business context. I've written already many articles around it and posts about it, and even a book, Human-Centric Business, Transforming Talent and Leadership in the Modern Business World. And funny enough, just an article yesterday, Leading from the Inside Out, that highlighted that leadership without inner work is obsolete, going in the same direction as the Gallup report findings. So today I want to explore with you why conscious leadership is, from my perspective, the only way forward to address the declining engagement, especially among managers and leaders. So for me, the Gallup findings are an engagement crisis, what we see in the world, in the world of business. The Gallup 2025 report brings alarming news. The global engagement dropped from 23 to 21%. Yeah, it's declining. It's declining since years, and that's for me, it's an alarming sign. But even more worrying is that the manager engagement in it, the critical link between teams and organizational performance, fell from 30 to 27%. And even for younger managers under 35, the drop was even steeper, 5 percentage points. And among female managers, engagement plummeted by 7 points. So isn't that alarming? Why does it matter? Because managers are the linchpin of workplace engagement. They are the ones driving the organizational performance. They manage teams. They engage teams. And when they are disengaged, it ripples through the entire team. It leads to reduced productivity, higher absenteeism, and declining performance. And now listen to these figures. According to Gallup, if the world's workplace were fully engaged, all people fully engaged, the global economy could see an increase of $9.6 trillion in productivity, which is equivalent to a 9% boost in global GDP. So let me repeat that it can sink in. If the world's workplace were fully engaged, the global economy could see an increase of $9.6 trillion in productivity, equivalent to a 9% boost in global GDP. For me, in a business world, these are quite relevant figures. Moreover, disengaged managers are not just an isolated problem. Their lack of motivation and commitment affects every interaction within the team. When managers feel disconnected, it often leads to a lack of direction and purpose. And that hits team members. They don't know where to go and what to do, and creates a cascading effect of disengagement. So why are the numbers shrinking? Why it goes down? The situation becomes even more problematic when we consider that many managers, especially the younger ones and the female ones, are facing increasing challenges to balance the work demands with personal growth and job satisfaction. But instead of tackling the root causes, companies are still using these outdated management practices that stem from the industrial age. Standardization, control, and a lack of personal connection. Standardization, it's killing the thriving of people. And furthermore, many organizations continue to rely on assessment tools that inherently carry biases due to their questionnaire-based nature. I've written as well articles about that. And in my book, I mention a lot of assessment tools that I went through. And it often fails to capture the unique potential of individuals. It standardizes, it conditions, it makes equal. So here's my rhetoric question. Isn't it time to ask, why do we keep trying to fix modern problems with old solutions? And why do we keep pushing leaders into rigid frameworks instead of equipping them to adapt and thrive? Reading the report, there is a foreword of John Clifton, the CEO of Gallup. He put it aptly. AI is here, and organizations will either adapt or fall behind. But adaptation doesn't just mean technological upgrades. It means preparing leaders to navigate human challenges in a tech-driven future. Leaders must realize that AI cannot replace the need for human-centric leadership, which prioritizes connection, empathy, and individual growth. As AI continues to shape the workplace, the human element becomes even more critical. AI can automate tasks, analyze data, streamline processes, but it cannot replicate human creativity, empathy, or moral judgment. These distinctly human attributes are vital in building cohesive, motivated teams that can leverage technology without losing their sense of purpose. It can build actually the purpose. The statistics make it clear. When managers feel disconnected, the entire organization suffers. Yet, instead of investing in conscious leadership development, companies often default to superficial solutions, quick trainings, more metrics. Einstein wisely pointed out, we cannot solve problems at the same level of thinking that created them. To move forward, we need to rethink leadership from the ground up, emphasizing the human element, emphasizing the human connection, the emotional intelligence, and the adaptive thinking. When I look at the numbers from the DACH region, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, the region I'm based in, they are especially concerning. 39% of employees in Germany intend to leave their jobs. Similar trends in Switzerland and Austria. Europe overall has the lowest employee engagement rate at just 13%. 13% of the people being engaged in the job they do. This stark reality highlights the urgent need for a leadership transformation, one that moves away from command and control and towards conscious, human-centric practices. Conscious leadership is about addressing these challenges by recognizing each employee's unique potential, rather than forcing them into outdated molds. It's about creating environments where managers and employees alike feel valued, supported, empowered, and I always call it empowered actually, to bring their full selves to work. When leaders practice conscious leadership, they foster a culture where open communication, transparency, and mutual respect are prioritized. This type of leadership cultivates not only higher engagement, but also greater innovation and resilience. And I've spoken in many articles about it. When employees know their voices are heard and their contributions matter at any level in the organization, they are more likely to invest their energy and creativity into the organization's success. So isn't it for the benefit of everybody involved? Isn't it for the team member, plus the boss, plus the organization? So 1 + 1 + 1 equals what? Definitely more than 3. Companies needs leaders who can guide people through change. And we have a lot of change going on. And guide people through the change with empathy and a vision. Managers who receive training in conscious leadership are significantly less likely to become disengaged. They know their inner self. And this isn't just about productivity. It's about human sustainability in the workplace. Training that focuses on building emotional intelligence, fostering inclusion, encouraging proactive problem solving can fundamentally shift the way managers connect with their teams. It's time to rethink how we develop leaders. If the goal is to harness AI's potential without losing human engagement, leaders must be trained not just in technical skills, but in emotional intelligence, active listening, and individualized support. They need to understand themselves. That is the key. Gallup's report shows that even basic role training can reduce disengagement. So you can even start small and you will have a ripple effect already. Now imagine what comprehensive conscious leadership training could achieve. Let's challenge the norm. As Einstein suggested, we need new ways of thinking to solve modern problems. We can't keep pushing old paradigms and expect different results. We need to reframe leadership from a top-down directive to a collaborative, empathetic practice that respects and elevates individual contributions. Now, here are my final thoughts and a challenge for you. Ask yourself, are you still using outdated leadership practice in your organization? Are you preparing your managers for a future where human connection is more vital than ever? If you're ready to rethink leadership, let's connect and let's talk. Reach out so that we can elaborate for your unique setup, how conscious leadership can transform your team, your leadership, your management, your organization. So with that, I want to close, and until the next time, stay intentional, stay conscious, and keep leading with purpose from the inside out. Thank you for listening to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. Look forward to the next episode to come, and stay intentional, stay conscious, and keep leading with purpose. Until the next time, bye.